We've had some brilliant races in the Kipco British Champion Series Stayers division so far this year. We may well get another one in the Lonsdale Cup, which is what we look at now. Where better to start than with last year's race? We pick it up, Chris, in the closing stages. There's the winner out in front.
That's Quest for More.
The second, behind Quest for More, Palisator, was never too far away. Little change as far as the prominent races went.
Just pick up the third as well. That's Wicklow Brave.
He ran well to get into it from in behind.
He did. This was a race in which tactics played a big part, I think, and Quest for More got a fantastic front-running ride from George Baker this day, and he dictated the terms of the race. He built up an advantage. He didn't have to work too hard for it, and he wins comfortably from Palisator. Wicklow Brave moved into the race nicely, but he just had too much running to do to get himself into a challenging position, really, and wasn't seen to maximum advantage on the day, but he was probably better than the bare result. Since then, Quest for More, he's not been the same horse, has he, really? Certainly this season he struggled with a run over at Meydan and then a couple of runs in this country at Sandown and at Ascot. He hasn't been the same form, so he's got a little bit to prove. Palisator, we'll see him in action again on his most recent start, and he's probably a little bit, he doesn't have as much to prove right now as what Quest for More does.
We've had some fantastic races, as I mentioned, in this division. There's been something about this year, hasn't there, which I think has really gripped the public. We've seen some brilliant finishes. We've seen some horses who we know and love and get the chance to over a series of years. I think it's been a division really come into its own this year. Yeah,
it is, and the Goodwood Cup will highlight a few horses that might well be lining up here in the Lonsdale Cup. It is hard to know exactly what's going to line up at the minute. There's any number of these horses that could take the chance. Don't expect Big Orange will be, but if you look at a few horses in here, Tom, we've got Palisator, who's one that could turn up. Sweet Selection could. She Is No Lady could. Prince of Arran, he's back there. He might. Sheikh Zayed Road, it's not impossible that he turns up. He's over on the inside there. There might be something else that turns up as well.
It's worth pointing out there's a few 3-year-olds in this division. Now, they'll probably be ledger bound, whereas the older horses are likely to be the ones fighting out the finish here.
Wicklow Brave as well, we've just seen he was there. Stradivarius, the winner there. Desert Skyline is here and Big Orange is over there, so we'll run it on, and as I say, there's any number of these that might well turn up in the Lonsdale Cup. The 3-year-olds dominate this race, don't they? And Stradivarius was very impressive. Yeah,
he was really impressive. Again, what we've seen here is, as with regards to the Lonsdale Cup, we saw a horse going out and try to dictate and try and make call. We do see that actually in this division time and time again, don't we? Particularly given the characters we're used to seeing. Does that suit Palisator, who runs on here? Do you think he wants more of an end-to-end gallop potentially?
I think he probably does. He's quite a highly strung horse, isn't he? He can be quite hard work in the prelims in particular, and I think as a result, a race that's run at an end-to-end gallop helps him, and to an extent, for all that he was better positioned than some in the race last year in sitting second behind Quest for More, that race probably wasn't the kind of test that produces the optimum for him. So he's the kind of horse that long straight at York and plenty of time to wind up into that big stride that he's got could help him, and he will be an interesting enough runner, but it's hard to say right now, isn't it?
It's worth pointing out that you do get that long straight. You're completely different to what we've just seen there, and you do get a chance, if they get rolling early enough in that straight, to pick up the pieces late on, for we didn't necessarily see that 12 months ago.
Yeah, he still ran very well 12 months ago because he was not as well positioned as the winner who dictated the race, and as I say, it probably wasn't a race that suited him ideally. What he would want is a gallop to wind up a fair way out, I think, Palisator.
That's our look then at the Lonsdale Cup. Let's hope for another cracking finish, as we've got used to in the Stayers division this season.